Hello, welcome to my channel. My channel is called Serenity and Strength. Thank you for watching. Apologies for not having uploaded in my normal time span. I had a technical mishap. My channel is called Serenity and Strength, and it covers my journey as a widow alongside my wellness journey. If you haven't watched any of the previous recordings, I would request that you kindly do so as to bring yourself up to speed. My name is Joyce Onyango, and I am 67 years young, is what I'll say going forward. And this is because within the last 2 months or so, I had very positive experiences of people who gave me affirmations that whatever I was doing with my wellness journey, I've had positive outcomes. So I'd just like to give a shout out to them, to all of you who gave me this feedback, and say many thanks and for all the encouragement. I'd just like to say thank you to all those who have subscribed. And if you haven't subscribed, kindly, I would ask that you do subscribe at this point. And also, I would like you to share, like, and also let me have your comments. In this particular episode, I want to cover something which will be a quick win for everyone, wherever you may happen to be, and I should say, really, no matter your circumstances. Because I want to cover something to do with my wellness journey. And about 17 years ago, I had a diet change. But one of the major shifts for me was shifting to having porridge, that is millet porridge, for breakfast. A minimum of 2 to 3 times in a week. I used to have just a typical breakfast, not, you know, too much of certain things, but mainly bread, tea, sugar, and the things that go with bread. Generally, I think the diets that tend to be considered affluent, you have the bread and tea, as I've already said, sugar, quite plenty of it. The bread tends to be white. Then you'd find that you would use jam, margarine, butter, eggs. Some have chapati. They have processed cereals. They even have things like ultra processed meats, things like the sausages, and bacon. And then even the what the cereals are having, they're also quite processed. So you'll find that whatever they're having tastes very good, but doesn't do so much for the overall wellness in building of the body. Instead, you'll find that these things tend to contribute to inflammation in the body and raise blood sugar, sometimes even giving them heart issues. Mostly in the villages, also rural areas. In the past, people used to take porridge quite a bit. So you'll find them wanting to take things like bread, mandazi, which is a kind of a donut, and the bread they take tends to be white. They don't really like a brown or wholemeal. They like tea with milk and a lot of sugar, unfortunately. Now, the millet that I'm talking about is actually finger millet, not the sorghum that sometimes people talk of. It's finger millet, and you'll find that in Kenya, it's normally called wimbi. Luos tend to call it kal. Uganda, it's called kalo. Ethiopia, I think they call it bulo. India call it ragi, I think, or ragi. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. But this millet originated in East Africa and Ethiopia thousands of years ago. Then it spread to India. Now the grain is just when once it's ready, it's cleaned and dried, and it's converted into flour by just grinding. So actually, it is unprocessed as such, in that all of it gets ground into the flour, and actually the full benefit of it is received. And because of that, it's been found that actually the nutritional content is quite exceptional. It's also gluten free and boasts high protein, fiber, and also antioxidant content. So it has vitamin B, calcium, iron, magnesium, potassium, and all these are very, very vital for overall health. Because of all these that are packed in it, there are very, very many positive benefits that come out of the millet flour. So you find that it supports muscle health and also repairs muscles. With blood sugar, you find that the way it is, it releases sugar into the bloodstream gradually, and you don't have spikes. So it's very, very good for people who have diabetes. It also helps with blood pressure because of the minerals that are in it. It combats free radicals, so it reduces signs of premature aging and even inflammation. So there are claims that actually it fights or prevents cancer, which I think would be a very good positive. And it is very readily available in Africa and Asia. Many of the rural areas, you find that they actually grow the millet. You can also get it in the local markets and also in the supermarkets. So it's very readily available for most people. And when you go overseas, you find that this is something which is considered a superfood. And it is more easily available within the Asian shops where they sell herbs and spices and grains. You can also get it on Amazon, though it does tend to be expensive when it is on Amazon. But overall, you find that definitely it is much cheaper when you compare it to the processed foods, and therefore I would say really more affordable for the majority, and especially if you compare the costs with the benefits. One other thing I think that I just maybe need to point out is that there are some brands which tend to be bitter, and those I think I found on varieties which are from India, which were present in the US. So when somebody is buying, it's good to actually first of all check that by buying a smaller quantity and checking that it's not one of those brands that is bitter. There are indications that the benefits you get even from the bitter one is just as good as the one which is not bitter. So if you can stand the taste and you don't mind the taste, I think well and good. But I think maybe those who know what can be done, because I'm not sure what can be done to remove that bitterness, perhaps they could give us the comments and tell us what needs to be done. But I haven't come across any of those bitter brands for those that come from Africa. So since it's an acquired taste, really, I think you start out with it with a small amount, and then you gradually increase whatever you are taking. Now, I was advised to combine it with nuts to get maximum benefit, and then things like pumpkin seed, sunflower seed, almonds, flaxseed, and also apart from the nuts, I was also told to combine it with black raisins. Now, all of these, you find that they have very positive benefits. Almonds are high in antioxidants, vitamin E, protein, and fiber, and they help in supporting heart health, reducing blood pressure, and also helping to fight cancer. They fight inflammation and free radicals, and also they do control the blood sugar. Sunflower seeds, on the other hand, they have vitamin E and many beneficial plant compounds. And they also give you anti-cancer nutrients. They also promote heart health and also support thyroid health, as well as fighting inflammation and preventing muscle cramps. Pumpkin seeds, on the other hand, they have a lot of healthy fats, magnesium, and zinc. So, again, heart health, prostate health, improve energy, your sleep, immune function, and also protection against certain cancers. Flax seeds, I don't know if I mentioned that before. This is a nutrient rich food and it will help you to lower cholesterol, help with control of the blood pressure, and also blood sugar. Also, it protects against certain cancers. Then the black raisins, these have got a lot of nutrients and they are rich in antioxidants as well. They'll combat stress and reduce inflammation in the body. Okay, and it's a good source of nutrients. They have iron, potassium, calcium, vitamin B and C, and they support a lot of body functions. It helps you with the digestive health, and also they aid in, they can prevent constipation, give you regular bowel movement, and also help with your bone health. Um, if you can afford to, if you can afford to get the nuts, then you'll find that you're going to have a superfood which is extra or superfood plus plus. But even if you can't, just the porridge itself is going to be enough to boost your health in so many ways. Also, to be used during pregnancy and also after birth. And one interesting thing is that in the past also, when we were weaning babies, we'd actually wean them onto millet porridge. And that millet porridge would probably be mixed with milk, but it was very nutritious. With the older generation, where you have loss of bone density and also muscle mass decreasing, you find that millet flour is actually also very beneficial. Just a short demonstration on how to make millet porridge. It's almost like making oatmeal. I use 2 tablespoons of the flour, and it's flour which I get from the shops. So it's 2 heaped tablespoons which I mix with cold water to make a paste. Mix it well. Once it's mixed well, I add hot water and make a good paste with that. By the way, I've just remembered there's some literature which suggests that this flour may be good for fertility issues. It's worth checking out. Once you've mixed it well with the hot water, just put it on the fire and allow it to cook until it simmers. Once it starts to simmer, you can just cover it and let it simmer for about a minute or so. It doesn't take long to get ready. The quantity makes about 1 normal cup, and with the big cup that I'm using, it's about half the cup. I decided to have it with one teaspoonful of sunflower seed and also 1 teaspoonful of raisins. I also chopped 5 almonds and put all of that inside as well. Do avoid sugar. Use honey or jaggery instead. Enjoy. Do remember to check out the links that I have shared with information. Bye. We'll see you next time. God bless.